All right, so I know it's been 2 weeks, and I know like the whole spiel should be it's good to be back. Carl put the finger guns down, whatever. But
Yeah.
in the last week, a lot of stuff has happened, so I'm just gonna jump into the fact that Daniel Ek, longtime Arsenal fan and owner and CEO of Spotify, wants to buy Arsenal with Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, and Dennis Bergkamp, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no one likes it in the Prem, and obviously so, because making Arsenal an even better team with the potential of Saka becoming what Saka should become is just disgusting.
Yeah,
Please don't allow it.
and like KSE has just said they're not going to entertain anything, and that's just stupid because
Even though every single fan, every single supporter of the club,
wants them out.
like
Speaking of not entertaining offers, FSG turned down 3 billion for Liverpool.
they
So
want to keep power right now.
yeah, and Man United wants the Glazers out, so we could be
It,
in for a big shift in ownership coming soon.
we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see what happens. Um, yeah.
I think that leads us right into today's show. Welcome back.
Hey yo, welcome back to the High Kicks podcast. We're back from our little break. Carl's feeling a lot better now. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Yep.
Unintentionally wearing the Santa hat in the background.
Oh yeah, of course. No, that's obviously intentional. I actually changed my position in my chair so that it could sit above my head more.
Did you actually?
So, yeah.
All right, that's a move. That's a move. I respect that. I got you there. Um, we're gonna change it up a little bit this week. Instead of mostly focusing on games and breakdown and all that, I want to take more of like a news centric kind of banter filled approach.
And
Just because in the last 2 weeks that we've been gone, a
there's been a
lot,
lot.
like a lot, like a lot.
Yeah,
Did I
this
say
is
that
gonna
there's
be
been
a
a lot?
jam-packed week.
Yeah. So we're just gonna jump right in with the thing that now everyone wants to just go away, but
Yeah.
somebody won't. Papa Perez won't shut up. So, um, this Fallout is insane because after 48 hours, the entire thing collapsed. The entire European Super League collapsed.
It
The,
wasn't gonna keep up once they contested the trophies.
I don't think it was. I just thought it wasn't going to keep up when they got threatened with international bans and their domestic leagues threatened to kick them out.
Yeah.
Like, but you have Papa Perez still standing here, just like they sign binding contracts. They have to pay a fee if they leave. And like this will happen or something similar will happen in the future. Like my guy is starting to sound like a Bond villain.
Yeah, literally. I don't fully understand what he's trying to do in this situation. It just sounds like he's trying to milk it for all he's got.
I
And
I had a whole conversation with my friend Michael while we were playing video games the other day, and he was like, "They just want more money," and I was like, "No, I mean yes, but they're really trying to cover up for poorly run clubs over the last couple of years." Have you noticed that the only two clubs that are still really pushing for this, or three clubs, are Juve, Barca, and Real? Three clubs who've spent a lot of money and haven't recouped it back.
and look at their Champions League success the past couple of years when
Yeah,
some of the star players are not doing the best and or leaving.
and like I know we just went through a global pandemic, but it's a very poor excuse that all these clubs are using sometimes when Bayern's chilling and they spent money. Like
You get to see Bayern
some
contest
clubs,
every single year. You get to see PSG contest every single year. You get to see like new clubs are coming in too. Like that's the main thing. Like there are cycles to these things
well,
and
new
people are
clubs
just
come up,
pretend.
and then when they come up in Germany, Bayern plucks everything away from them, and
That's different. We aren't talking about Germany. I'm talking more like
I
England
know,
because look at Man Shitty over there and what they're doing.
I know, but whatever. Um, this whole thing with the UCL and the whole way they described it, I because I feel like we should give our opinions on it because we haven't yet.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't mind the format and the way it was laid out, except for the fact that the founding clubs were guaranteed their spot every year. Like
Yeah.
I think a 20 team league where with the best teams in Europe where you have 10 games or however many games they said, I think it was 10.
Yeah.
And then you fucking go into a normal knockout stage. I think that could be cool.
I thought the
The
games being played were going to be potentially one of the coolest parts about the entire competition.
the
I
only issue
definitely
I had is the guaranteed placement.
because we got to see Arsenal this year, we got to see Tottenham this year, we get to see these teams who like at some points in the season are either looking great or looking like the worst in the Prem. Like we get to
I mean,
see these teams.
Arsenal went from looking like a relegation side to looking like a mid-table side. Spurs went from looking like the best team in the Prem to a mid-table side. So like, there's a little bit of a difference there. Like
Yeah,
Spurs had
but
Champions League aspirations. Arsenal, if they thought they did, they were lying to themselves.
well, they were just
There's
to
just
it,
there's just no situation
and
where
that's
a
it.
team like West Ham should finish fifth and a team like Arsenal should finish 10th, and Arsenal should be in a Super League and West Ham shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's my thing.
And also like with the way that Germany works a lot, the alteration in who's actually competing for the top of the table just based on young talent for teams and then they get scooped up and then those teams tend not to be very good.
Yep.
Wolfsburg. So we'll see if like if you're going to start including other leagues, how much of a competition is this going to be? Is this just a complete repetition of the Champions League?
Well, it would be a it would be a little bit of a different competition. The biggest thing though that all these clubs wanted is the guaranteed payday of being in this league every year.
Yeah.
And that would have destroyed the football pyramid that everyone loved because a select few clubs, just because they decided it was them, would get access to money that no one else has.
And it's not like they deserved it at any point in time. They
No,
literally are just like,
they're just
okay,
negotiating it behind the
we have the
scenes.
money.
So, so this dominated the news, and I think it's still going to until Florentino just decides to shut his mouth. But what it kind of did was it covered up the the fact that there's a whole new Champions League format coming.
Yeah, like
And
honestly, I didn't even hear about it until you mentioned it to me.
yeah,
And
so Ilkay Gundogan, wow, Ilkay Gundogan. I almost said Gundogan, and that would have just been like hashtag American. Um,
wow,
I can't believe I just did that, but that was the most awful thing I've done. So, but
that was like dabbing on camera.
kinda, yeah. Um, no, but so the UCL is going from 32 to 36 teams, and it's gonna be kind of a table, like a single tabled competition. Um, no more group stage, but instead of 6 games, the players are now going to be playing 10.
Hmm.
So to start there, Ilkay Gundogan came out and said, and I, yeah, as I previously mentioned, that no one is thinking about the players. This is just adding more to their bodies and their workload, and they're gonna get hurt more, and then people are gonna complain about bad quality football.
Yeah.
Um, like, bruh. Um, no
And the
more.
only teams that will be able to compete are like the cities, are the
Yeah,
Bayerns, are the teams with like the substantial depth.
something I do like is there won't be any more repeat matches during the group stage or during the table stage or whatever the hell we want to call it now. That's a positive. I'll take that. They did well there. I
Sometimes
mean,
I want the repeats.
but you get the repeats when the games are better with higher level competition in the knockout stages. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's entirely fair.
Like, you get a better gauge of how good a team is when it's not playing just the same three teams twice.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably the only positive I can say. Um, I have a huge issue with the freaking coefficients, the club coefficient, because it's like it gives it to clubs who haven't qualified for the UCL but have done really well. The best performing teams numbers wise that didn't get into the league stage but qualified for Europe would get bumped up into the league phase.
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to make it more inclusive for like other teams to make it more like of like that March Madness feel because you can
They're
have like those random upsets and stuff.
Well, no, but what
But
the club coefficient means is that like United can finish sixth and West Ham can finish fifth, and United can get bumped up if they have certain numbers that qualify them.
yeah, and other competition and stuff.
Yeah, which I have an issue with a club finishing
Yeah.
below another club, but yeah. Um, I think the new knockout stage is weird with the whole like the top eight teams go, but like 9 through 24 enter a playoff, and like 9 through 16. Like it's just too confusing.
Yeah, I honestly was reading the playoff
Like
ranking
17 through
and I just got
24
confused.
won't be seeded, and there's a drawing for freaking aggregate games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm reading this off of CBS, and they did a really good job breaking it down really short. Um, but
UEFA tried to do
after
the same thing and it is
after all of
confusing as
that,
all
like
hell.
after all that craziness, the round of 16 to the end is the same. Um,
Yeah.
so UEFA said they did it to get the top clubs to play each other more, which is the same thing the Super League was trying to do. This just adds to them playing more, which isn't necessarily a good thing, you know?
No, because we do want to see the quality football. We don't want to see the trash. And if we
Yeah.
constantly have to wear out all these players, when are they supposed to play their best?
Yeah,
Like
and like,
KDB can become more injury prone. Neymar can become more injury prone. These players aren't invincible.
yeah, so more football doesn't mean good football. More
Yeah.
sports doesn't mean good sports. Like, players are people. Bodies have
Y-
limits. I don't care if they're in incredible shape. I don't care if they're making millions upon millions of euros a year to play a game. Because if you overplay them and they get hurt, the next criticism is they're hurt too often, they're never on the field.
That's the main thing. Like, they're just going to see more criticism by the media. It's not going to be solved by this. Nothing like in terms of quality will be solved by this. That's one of the main issues, and people expect more to be better, but when you get to see like American football and stuff, you don't want to see more in those instances.
No,
Like you have
no.
enough already. They're getting enough concussions. Trust me, enough. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to see limits to the body, and so, soccer
Yep.
football is enough of the take where
Did you just say soccer football?
it's straining enough on the body. You need to have the time to rest.
Yeah, your body needs time off. You need time to recover.
Yeah,
You
I
can't.
said soccer football.
Yeah, that was weird, but okay. Um, I think we're just gonna get into some Champions League actual like play right now
Yep.
because semifinals were this week, and dude, I think we've like we've talked about this enough that it's common knowledge, at least between us. But N'Golo Kante is the best CDM in Europe, and
By far.
like it's not close. Like Pogba has said that when he's playing with Conte and he's just not back to defend, he's not worried because Conte is just always there because he has 15 lungs.
Conte just is literally the biggest steam engine of any player ever, and he just will constantly run around the entire field, take every single player, and just be like, okay, I can play you 1v1, or I can intercept the lane, or I can literally just
He can
do
do
like
everything and anything. It's unreal. Unreal.
it's absolutely absurd what he was able to do against Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Like just
he was everywhere.
every ball he was contesting pretty much, and he
So
was on the end of every single ball in his half,
so
essentially.
when you are playing against a midfield that consists of Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric, and you're the best midfielder on the field, and your midfield is outplaying them solely because of you,
And let those names sink in.
Tony
Because
Cruz, Casemiro, who's one of those dudes with one name,
Casemiro is literally
he's filthy.
potentially one of the best CDMs in the world.
And N'Golo Kante just smiles at him as he destroys him because
As he runs laps around him. Get it
like
correct.
it was insane watching him do what he did or what he
He was
does.
he was just dominating the midfield so outrageously that I I was thoroughly surprised. I
Oh
just
wait, wait,
was
wait, wait, wait,
not
wait, wait, wait,
expecting
wait.
that.
Did you see what Thiago Silva's wife apparently tweeted after the game?
Nah.
She was like, "Every team we go to, there's always just this striker that can't finish goals. This time it's this Werner or whatever his name is." I saw another clip that before Pulisic scored, it was like Werner's wide open in the middle, and it says Pulisic looked over and saw Werner. Was like, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna take this myself."
Yeah, exactly. We saw that save by Courtois. Great save, honestly,
I
by
mean,
Courtois.
you do have to finish it. You have to score that,
You have
but
to score that.
Courtois didn't get enough credit for that save. Like he wasn't standing there already; he was shifting to the side. So
Yeah.
shooting it to the middle wasn't a terrible option. You know what I mean?
But same token, you gotta finish that when you're getting paid that much. Like he just
Absolutely.
has not performed for the price tag. And you were mentioning that earlier, how you
Yeah.
were thanking God that you didn't sign him for Liverpool.
Oh my god.
And
I was so pissed. And then
yeah,
like, dude, I am ecstatic still. And like I was mad then because like do you want Timo Werner or do you want Diogo Jota after last season?
you want Werner.
And who do you want now?
Um, I want N'Golo Kante on any team that I have. But
Fair, fair.
definitely Jota, definitely Jota, based on the few performances he's had compared to Werner. Werner has had so many chances in order to try to show himself, and he just
Hasn't. Hasn't.
what
I mean, he's leading.
there's a reason why he is like a leading meme on TikTok.
I mean, he's leading their team in goals in the Prem with like six.
Is that impressive for how many chances he's had?
No, but it's also not impressive that six is leading their team in goals at this stage in the season. Um, So this Chelsea has become a defensive like stalwart recently with Thomas Tuchel.
It's absurd,
It's
especially with
impressive,
Reece James, with
and
Chilwell,
Thomas Tuchel is on the verge of a second straight UCL final.
with Chelsea.
And yeah, the second club is Chelsea. So I'm not trying to discredit Tuchel or even Poch right now, but I just feel like any top class manager could take PSG to the semis or to the final. Like honestly,
Yeah,
they just have that much talent. Um, but to do it with Chelsea this season after
I'm
taking over in January, he is transferred. Like they would not have gotten this far with Lampard in charge.
No, not at all. And I think it's really surprising the formation change that's really helped them. And they can even play like Havertz up top in some situations and still be okay. They're capable of doing pretty much any formation. Like that alternating like 3-4-2-1 is absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
I have no clue like how he thought of it, but every single team in the Prem is attempting to replicate it in some way. Leicester
yeah.
tried to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and like they weren't as successful, but being able to have that attacking prowess while still having five at the back in essential moments,
Yep.
Thomas Tuchel is
Genius.
a juggernaut right now.
Yep. Yep. Um. So this game or this tie, I guess, because it's multiple games, is a lot closer than the other one,
Yeah.
obviously. So we're at 1-1. Chelsea's got that away goal. How does Madrid ensure they progress? What do they got to do at the bridge to win,
They
to go
need that
through?
midfield play. They need that midfield possession. That was the main thing that they kept on lacking. Casemiro was not able to cover anyone during that game. He has to actually be able to put pressure on them. Modric has to be able to play balls out of the middle. Cruz has to be able to find people down the wings. Like you have to be able to.
You
I
have to
just
be
said
able
be
to
able
be
to.
able. You have to be able to
Yeah,
be able to. Cool.
to play balls at the proper moments and just pass it on and keep momentum going, but you just kept on seeing stagnant play from Real. And if you really get that midfield play intertwined, I could see them taking it. I could see them winning 2-1 easily. But I with the way that Chelsea were playing, they really showed them that they can outpossess them despite
Not
all they
having
have.
a midfield that can match up. Yeah.
Also, a massive thing that would improve everything if Ramos was there.
Oh, well, that's just a given.
If Ramos was there, I don't even think we would be talking about this.
I mean, yeah, but he wasn't there, so we're talking
Yeah,
about this.
exactly.
All right, cool. But they just, I mean, one goal in there through.
One
But
goal and they're through, but also they're so short on players. Like they play Adriozola. I just botched his name, but like
no,
you know who I'm
actually,
talking about.
it's Odriozola.
Adriozola.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Um he's that Spanish right back, and he came in for Carvajal just because like of fouls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when you have players who are coming in who don't see
Well,
the first team that regularly,
he's also young, and I think they're trying to get him more first team time.
that's fair.
Yeah,
But
I think he has been seeing some more. Like the issue is we don't have access or pay for like the channels that have La Liga.
yeah,
So we don't get to watch Real that much except for when they're in the Champions League, which is
yeah.
really, really annoying.
Marcelo still played a good game, surprisingly. He got
Marcelo's
pressured
just,
a lot, but he still played a decent game.
Marcelo's just different. But we're gonna move on to me being sad because Liverpool can't hold a lead, and so hear me out with this. Not only did they blow this damn lead, they blew it twice, Carl,
Yeah, no, I
in the
remember the
span
no
of two
goal.
minutes. Because there was a goal that I think should have been a goal because I think the handball rule leading up to a goal is stupid. The ball, his arm was on his side. Full like
That's the main thing. The entire
I'm
time,
gonna
it's
stand up right
pinned
now
against his
so you can
arm.
see this. It's like I can't get high enough up to do it, so I'm not gonna do it. I tried. Um, but it's like pinned up against his leg, and it didn't impact the path or the drop of the ball, so it should have been a goal. So they should have
Yeah.
drawn anyway. But the fact that it got ruled out and Liverpool like turned around and let in another one, like
In dramatic fashion as
like
well.
like
It was a great
boy,
goal.
like boy, or like bruh.
It was hilarious. I had a great time watching that.
Like I did not. I mean, it was exciting. I can't lie.
It was really exciting up until that for you, but
Well,
it was just
yeah.
really entertaining.
So as a football fan, it was exciting. As a Liverpool fan, it wasn't. So Klopp also had a little bit to say about his club and about the players and about their fight for the top four. Um, he questioned their pedigree for Europe. He actually went there and questioned if his club and his players deserve to play in Europe next year.
And what does the Liverpool fan have to say first? Because I question them too.
I mean, he's right. If they
Like the
if they
the
steal a
signing of
spot,
Konate is not gonna seal that team up.
well, the return of Van Dijk and Gomez will,
We don't know.
bro.
We need to see how great Van Dyke is, like
Yeah,
on
but
his way
so
back.
so
Because
so
if he's
Gomez and Kanate though would be good together,
yeah,
and so like there's other options at center back. I think that's gonna get patched up next year. I really
okay.
do. Um, yeah. So there's
Okay.
that. Um, so I'm not really questioning that. I think they're gonna do whatever they can to patch that up because of how much of a shit show it's been this year. Um,
I think that just doesn't solve the finishing issue either, though. Like just
well,
because they
I truly think the finishing issue comes down to you try and you sell whoever they're trying to sell. You bring in somebody else. You shake up the midfield to actually add like an on-ball dynamic playmaking midfielder because Tiago
or
Tiago does it from the back, but they don't really have anybody who dribbles and picks out plays from the middle of the field.
they need Fabinho and Thiago to be those holding midfielders,
I
and
mean,
then they
that's
need
just
exactly who you're talking about.
mm-hmm.
It, honestly, like a Grealish or someone, but like Grealish is just perfect for like any team.
Honestly, you know who just popped into my head who would be a perfect fit?
Who?
Brant.
Yeah, but Brandt was exactly what Arsenal needed to until they found Emil uh Rose
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe and then
Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Yeah. But Julian Brandt is like a player like that.
Yeah.
A player like that.
He's more of a pedigree above than
although
Odegaard.
although um if doable, I would always be okay with Mbappe.
Yeah, I saw that report too, but guess what? PSG's still trying to get Messi too, so
All right, I don't know why I just did that, but we're gonna go into another team who dropped some points that makes me happy because West Ham lost to Chelsea. Um, and
I don't
I'm
understand why that makes you happy.
because when Liverpool dropped points and instead of a draw here, West Ham got 0 and Liverpool got 1, so Liverpool closed the gap on West Ham a little bit.
Yeah, but Chelsea created more of a gap.
Yeah, but
Aren't you trying to finish top four?
I am trying to finish top 4,
So
but
then why are you excited? Like, I don't get this.
but like
But you're realistic. Oh, I'm sorry to
no,
say.
I am realistic. I'd like 5th because 5th is better than 6th. I'd like to finish above West Ham and not be, embarrassed. Nothing against West Ham, but defending European champions.
You're
Or not
gonna be
European
embarrassed no
Premier
matter what.
sorry, defending Premier League champions and was Club World Cup when the season started, and then Bayern took that weird. I don't know. Shit's confusing. But defending
Yeah.
something shouldn't finish below West Ham. That's why I'm kind of happy. Let me see something that makes me happy.
You don't deserve it. Lingard's coming back to tear up at Man U at the end of the season. Hopefully he's playing like the left wing. We put Rashford on the right wing. We sign Ronaldo and Varane, and then you get to cry it over and over again.
Can we not talk about that? I don't want to
What you
talk
think
about that.
about that? Hmm?
I don't like that.
I think that's the perfect team.
I think it's time we talk about one of my favorite people.
Shut up.
He was an animal this weekend.
That is the only reason why Man U drew
Yeah,
this
man,
weekend. That is
man.
the only reason Man U drew this weekend. Melier literally was just like every single shot.
Oh my God. Apologies to my favorite dude. I typoed. There's two
Wow.
L's in his name instead of one, and I fixed it on the graphic. We chillin'. Nah, I gotta fix a little bit more, but keep talking about him.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was essentially like, there's a lacrosse video that's really funny where a guy's just like marching straight at someone with who's shooting at him. And I just imagine Melier doing that after watching this game. It was
All right,
absolutely nuts.
all right. Now that I fixed the graphic, for real, what's this dude's ceiling? Because he's French. He's like 21. All everybody talks about in terms of young French players is Ryan Cherky, Eduardo Camavinga. Or is Ryan Cherky? Yeah, Ryan Cherky's French, right?
Yeah,
All right. Cherky, Camavinga, the defenders, Upamecano, Konate, and all that.
but
But this dude has potential to be a rock in the back for France.
honestly, if he keeps on playing the way that he is, he may see like a prime De Gea type vibe.
I would love to see it. He's unreal. I love him.
I could see him being more, or he sort of plays more like De Gea than Courtois. Um,
Um,
he's the size of Courtois, but plays a little more like De Gea, in my opinion.
I disagree with that. De Gea has always been a little bit more punch instead of catch, and Melier goes for the catch as often as he can.
So who would you relate him to?
Why do you gotta relate everybody to everybody?
These comparisons are fun.
Yeah, but like I don't know. He's a tall, skinny
So
goalkeeper.
whose prime are you gonna compare him to? Like
I
what?
I can't yet because I don't know what his prime is. You know what I mean? Like
Bro, I just tried to compare him to Prime De Gea as a Man U.
you cut out again. Nah, but my point here is like I don't know what his prime is gonna look like. I don't know. Like I have a hard time doing all this stuff because like
Man. Come up with someone.
yeah, I'm trying to think, but like
Would you think of him as like a prime Courtois? Like, do you think he has like O block potential where
like
like he could
so
be the best keeper in the
so
world?
so
Neuer.
I see a little bit of I don't see any Neuer in him. He's not that aggressive.
I
Um
don't see Neuer.
I see a little bit of Courtois because of the size and all that. I do see some De Gea, but I kind of like really, if you really want me, I see it as a mixture really of those two.
Okay.
Like it's hard to pick one.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's
Um,
why I made the initial comparison between
yeah,
the two of them.
like I'm trying to think of a keeper whose level like
I think we're harping on this too much, honestly.
yeah, I just think realistically, like I think the dude could be really, really, really good. I think he could be a rock for France for a very, very, very long time.
I think he
And
has Donnarumma potential.
yeah, honestly, like I think he has Donnarumma potential.
All right,
All
let's
right.
keep it moving.
Um, so we talked about De Gea a little bit. I didn't even know that comparison was going to come. It was a little bit blasphemous, but that was kind of the point of it. But should he leave this summer? Because it seems like the dude's lost his spot. Like, I would be out. I feel like he's got a lot of time left to be really, really, really good, and I feel like United could make a good amount of money off of him.
That's the main thing. United can make the money that could sign Varane and sign Ronaldo this offseason, even though we have it.
How much do you think they could make from him?
Not that much.
What do you think?
Probably like 20, 25.
Let's see. De Gea market value. De Gea is worth 19.8 million pounds, according to transfermarket.co.uk.
So I could see him going for like 20 somewhere.
Yeah, 20 somewhere would be like reasonable.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
just because of his prime in the past.
What is he like 31? 32? Like he's young.
Yeah, he's young for a keeper at that. So,
Yeah.
like, we just saw Navas today have an amazing game despite losing, and
Well,
he's
cuz he
34, I'm pretty sure.
Navas always has a great game. He's like one of the most underrated keepers of his generation. I've
Oh,
told you
by
this.
far the most
All right.
underrated keeper of
Cool.
our
Cool.
generation.
I don't think Madrid should have sold him
No.
for Courtois. Like they didn't need to. It.
Well,
I'm sorry,
they
but
needed some sort of change.
why?
I don't know.
Why?
There was something about them that just was like,
They won UCL after UCL after UCL.
yeah, but they thought that Ronaldo leaving meant full change.
That's fair. That's fair.
And
That's fair.
if you if you think if you think you have a chance at Courtois, at that point in time, Courtois looked like he was gonna have a better prime.
Fair, fair, fair. All right. Let's get back a little bit into more Prem because
Yep.
it's more, what we do and what we actually get to watch. But so in the last couple of weeks, Leicester has been kind of kicking
On
it.
fire.
Well, kind of on fire, kind of not. Like we questioned there if they were gonna drop,
Yeah.
but So in his last 9 games, or something like that, Kelechi Iheanacho has scored something along the lines of 12 goals or something in 9 games. Um, he scored the winner against Palace.
Um, that
Um,
duo of him and Barty up top has just been
it's been scary,
connecting.
but like, how good can this dude get? You know what I mean? Like, how good is he really?
How old is he, by chance? Do you know?
I will check that.
Yeah, check that because if he's the age that I think he is, I think he's still young enough where he could develop into a
How old?
crazy player.
How old do you think he is?
23.
He's 24. My dude's middle name is Promise. My dude's middle name is Promise. His name is Kalechi or Kalechi, I'm not sure. But Kalechi Promise Iheanacho.
I promise you he'll be good.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was
But no, in all honesty, I truly believe he'll be a disgusting player for Leicester. He's just showing so much potential with that striker duo. With the change of the formation, we can definitely see a lot more attacking options,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I'm really interested to see what kind of attacking prowess they'll have going forwards with
Dude,
Tielmans,
that winner that he scored
Madison.
this weekend was a freaking rocket top corner.
Yeah, yeah, that was a FIFA shot.
That was a FIFA shot. That was one of those shots that you look at your boy and you're like, you flare that? Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, yo, did you like? How do you knuckle the ball? Even though it wasn't a knuckle, but like, how you hit the ball like that?
You're like, did you just finesse that or fucking like full power it? What did you just do?
Like, did you hit L1 on the free kick, even though it wasn't a free kick?
Yeah.
Like that.
Um,
That's what that shot was. Oh my god, my arm hurts.
Brian just got a second shot, if anyone's
Dude,
wondering.
I was sitting like this, and I was like, I literally can't hold my left arm up anymore. um, yeah, I don't feel like crap yet, which is good.
Yeah,
Um, but Iheanacho, I mean, that was really all I wanted to get from that game because
I think Iheanacho could be
he's just been
the
special.
replacement for Vardy.
Could be, could be. Um, so so can we just talk about something real quick?
Sure.
Is the League Cup still a competition?
Not with Man City there.
Like they're so good in that, like 4 in a row, 4 in a row. Like
Zinchenko took a picture with it every single time.
yeah, we'll get more into City in a little bit, but like so so Spurs, like, did they try, like, they fired Jose Mourinho a week before a final, right?
You know you aren't gonna win that then.
So like they Spursed again.
But you just know you aren't gonna win that at that point.
But so like now it makes me think they wanted Jose out and they couldn't have him potentially win this final and then fire him.
I don't think they. I think they have less confidence in Jose
Then
than they
Ryan
did.
then Ryan freaking Mason.
Yeah, he was not liked by the players.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like there was disagreements. I just don't understand the way that Jose is actually coming into management positions anymore
Yeah.
because he's been floundering for years now.
Yep. Yep. All right, so we're gonna jump back into City. I just kind of wanted to rip on Spurs because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So City have basically booked their ticket to the final. They're chilling. Um, PSG came out. Marquinhos scored. I heard a stat on CBS say that he might have been, or he's like one of three players or something to score in back-to-back quarterfinals and semifinals of the UCL. They were rolling, and then halftime hit, and they went flat. But we'll get into that. City,
PSG, I
City.
think
Hold on,
it's
hold on,
more
hold on.
of
City.
PSG than City.
I know, but we'll get into PSG because that's the next thing I got queued up. City did turn it on.
City turned it on, especially on those free kicks. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, yeah.
KDB's free kick was literally perfect.
Yep, yep, yep.
There's no even there's no more explanation for it because if someone hits the ball, Navas was ready to try to save it, but if you don't hit the ball, it's still going in the net.
Exactly.
What are you supposed to do in that situation on a rainy day when the ball's perfect?
I have no idea. I,
Like, and then the second goal I would say is the fall of Kimpembe on the wall.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's hard to say it's the fault because, like,
he just tucked in so much, and
but
but
like things happen when you jump. It's hard to do it the
yeah,
exact like. It was unfortunate, and I guess yes, it was his fault, but
Mahrez nuts.
fair,
Yeah,
nuts, nuts.
Mahrez was having an amazing game.
He always does. He
Yeah.
always does. But it still raises the question of what the hell happened to PSG. Like they
After that
came out,
Neymar injury, they weren't the same. Honestly, once
they
Neymar
came
went
out
down,
flat.
they were trash.
They came out flat.
Literally, I think that red card from Gay proved everything in just that they were frustrated, they
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what to do, and they were just getting outplayed by City in the second half.
They seem like they don't have the maturity to know what to do after they squander a lead.
No. They have such a young squad that they don't have those players in their repertoire that can just be like, "Hey, we can sit here and we will be fine."
They don't, and they'll have time, and I feel like they'll get them eventually. But it kind of looks like our final is going to be PSG. Or sorry, not PSG. Wow, sorry, City.
And shitty.
So City versus either Real or Chelsea because that's still up in the air.
Yeah.
That one is still up in the air. So who you got?
I'm gonna have to take Man City. I'm a
Can't.
Manchester United fan and I have to go for Manchester City.
I don't know why, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but something tells me it's going to be Chelsea.
I honestly could see that happening as well. I
Like,
could see Chelsea just surprising Man City in both games.
well, I don't think it's going to be a surprise. Well, it would be one game. The final's one game. It's not aggregate. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm more so like I just could see Chelsea just being defensive and getting a goal. You know.
They have enough talent recently. They've
Yep.
been playing well enough. I
Yep.
honestly think that they could hit City on a surprise.
Like I think. Well, I think it's going to be an All England final because I think it's going to be Chelsea City.
I
Uh,
also agree with
And
that.
I really, really, no disrespect to Madrid, but I really, 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 really then think that somehow Chelsea's gonna pull it out, and we're gonna have the happiest Paul Rolfe I've ever seen in my life
I
on
don't
this
think
show.
Chelsea will be able to pull it off, but I think they will play an amazing game. I just think City will be able to overpower them,
I
just
could
like
even
City
see it
should.
going to pens.
Wow.
Like I,
Okay.
I could really see like a defensive kind of game that gets that far. It would be
Yeah.
boring to watch, but if that's what it takes to, you know what I mean?
I don't think City plays that style though. I think City would possess enough where I don't think it would happen like that.
Yeah, but I think that Chelsea's midfield could shut it down enough that it would just the game would happen in between the two final thirds with very little, or not very little, but not much breakthrough play.
How long can you hold them off for though?
Well, so Chelsea's good enough to not have to hold them off for the full 90.
That's the point. Like
So I
they
think it'll
they
be
can
both.
score,
Yeah.
but
So I don't mean 0-0 in terms of pens, but I just mean I could see the game getting that far, if that makes sense.
I do understand what you mean. I just still see
Like,
City being able to finish it within the allotted amount of time.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Um. All right. So I'm still in the lead in predictions.
Yup.
Um.
Screw you.
We didn't do last week because of things, so it's still 1916 me. Um. Next
I know
season.
that changed from the last time we had this up.
Oh no,
So
yeah, sorry. It's not still 1916. I'm still in the lead, but I got 3 points. Carl got four. He's at 16 from 12. I'm at 19 from 16.
yep.
Um, we predicted a lot of games and didn't get a lot of points. So if
Nope,
you're if
not
you're
at all.
if you're betting on footy, don't take our advice.
Please don't.
As said by the great Matthew Berry of American fantasy football, if you take my advice and win, you're welcome. If you take my advice and lose, it's your fault for listening.
Yep.
I mean, yep. So I'm gonna jump in and do this first one. Um,
Okay.
Leicester Southampton. Um, Friday, April 30th. I taking Leicester. I'm taking 3-1.
3-1.
Yes,
That sounds like a good score. I'm gonna steal that too.
you're a
I'm
bitch,
also gonna say the same score for Man City versus Crystal Palace.
dude. I'm going 4-0 for that.
You're going 4-0.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Scratch that. Scratch that. Scratch that. No, yeah, I'm going 4-0.
I'm gonna go 3-0 actually.
I
I'm
was
changing that.
thinking, I was thinking that they were gonna maybe not play everybody for like Champions League reasons, but they're up 2-1 with two away goals.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Brighton
I,
leads.
Brighton Leeds. Leeds are so hard.
Yeah,
It's so hard. It's like, no, no.
if you want me to go first, I will.
I'm going 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 leads. I'm gonna go for a draw. 1-1.
Fair.
Um so for the next one is Chelsea versus Fulham. For this one, I'm feeling Chelsea obviously, but
By a
I'm
score
taking a
of what?
2-0.
1-0. 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea. Yeah, I'm taking 2-0 Chelsea.
Cool.
What about this next game? This one is actually a relatively big one for both teams. You just wanted to take all the hard ones this week, apparently.
I set it up so I get our game first. Um,
You rat.
yeah. Um, I'll take Villa 2-1.
You rat. You literally were going to do exactly what I was going to do. I actually put that one in ahead of time.
Cool.
Um,
Cool. I
but
mean,
yeah,
hey, the more same scores we have, the more I just stay ahead.
I'm taking Arsenal 1-1
What?
against Newcastle.
Okay. I'm going to go Newcastle 1-0, Joe Willock.
Joe, I'm gonna make a side note.
You do realize in the last 4 games he's been subbed on in the second half he scored, right? He scored the tire or the equalizer against Liverpool. And Arsenal's his parent club who he's on loan from. He's going to score against them. I hate
That's why I
Arsenal.
said 1-1, but keep it going.
Yeah.
Our game. So what's your prediction for our game?
Give me a sec. I got to click on something. This one I actually need to see some stews. So
I'm taking a confident 2-1.
you're taking a confident 2-1.
Yeah.
I'll go for
Man, you.
So I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool because I think they're gonna try and make a statement.
Can't wait for them to lose. Watch, it's gonna be a draw, and neither of us are gonna get points.
Oh no, it's definitely gonna be a 0-0 draw because that's just how all the Big Six games are.
Yeah. Spurs Sheffield. I'm gonna take Spurs 3-0 because they're gonna try to show out.
I'm gonna go. I just don't know. Actually, I'm gonna go 2-0. I don't know what Ryan Mason is capable of as a manager, but it's Sheffield.
That's why I said 3-0.
Yeah. Wolves 2-0 over West Brom. Two. Sorry. Yeah, 2-0. I'm gonna leave it. Gut feeling.
I'm taking 1-1 draw.
Okay, cool.
And then Burnley West Ham. I'm taking West Ham 3-1.
2-1 for me.
Damn. All right. That wraps it up for our predictions for this week.
That do wrap up the predictions. It do.
Hopefully Brian sucks this week and I can catch up so that it's more interesting for you guys, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Before we go, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we missed that we didn't get to.
We both got new haircuts.
We did both get new haircuts.
I think that's what you were missing.
Yes. Oh, also, I gotta shout this out because I work on the show also. My girlfriend's got a podcast that I do the tech for, kind of the same way I do the tech for our show. It's called We Be Trippin'. It's kind of cool. It's a travel podcast. Yeah, go check them out. I think that's about it. We didn't really miss much footy in terms of talk because there was a lot,
I think we touched upon everything.
Yep. I still haven't posted anything on TikTok, but it's coming at some point. Um, but
yeah,
we'll
I
get
think
there.
that's
We'll
gonna
get there.
wrap it up for
That's
this
gonna
week.
wrap it up. Hopefully, we'll see. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
We will be taking some kind of break towards the end of May, a little bit.
Yeah, for graduation and move out and stuff, but
Yeah, more. Well, not necessarily move out because I'm gonna leave my stuff here over the summer. But
we'll figure that out.
We'll get to that. But we'll give you guys more talk about what's going on when we graduate and that kind of plans. Thanks for tuning in. We're having a lot of fun doing this. We'll catch you guys next week. Adios.
All right. Much love. Peace.